All right, guys, I'm doing a video here talking about which teams have the best chance to win the Super Bowl. This is not a power rankings video. This is talking about who I have seen because I have an unmatched eye for talent, for evaluation on teams, for organizational structure. I have an unmatched talent and unseen eye like no one's ever seen. So I am right now going to break it into four categories, right? You have Super Bowl bound teams, you have locked for playoffs. These are the teams that are like they're good but not great. Then you have potential playoff teams that can end up in the wild card, and you have teams no chance, right? So first off, I'm just gonna go in order from what I see it. I did not do any script for this, so I'm off the cup right now, and I'm just doing it. Okay. LA Rams. LA Rams are could be Super Bowl bound, right? Even though their defense didn't look great for San Francisco, their offense is elite. Their O line is holding up. Stafford's playing really well. He's almost averaging, I think, 300 yards passing in the first 5 weeks. Puka Nacua looks like a top three receiver in the NFL. You have Kyron Williams. If he didn't fumble that ball at the end zone, they'll be 4-1. They should possibly be 5-0 right now if they beat the Eagles, and if Cardi didn't miss those two field goals or get it blocked. So they're Super Bowl bound, right? Okay, next, the Browns. The Browns have no chance, right? They have a rookie quarterback. I'm never putting a rookie quarterback that has a chance unless they have structure. And the Cleveland Browns have no structure on their team. They cannot walk and chew gum at the same time. They're not a good franchise. They're just bad. They got rid of Baker Mayfield somehow. For some reason, they got rid of Baker Mayfield and they thought Deshaun Watson would be much better. Good job for Cleveland Browns. So now you have Cleveland Browns with the Dylan Gabriel, Shador Sandals, and Dylan Gabriel are beefing. Why would I put them in anywhere besides no chance, right? Then you have the Atlanta Falcons. The Falcons are potential playoffs, right? They have potential playoffs. They play in a weak division, right? You get to play against the Carolina Panthers, and then your team isn't they're not bad, but they did get, I guess, lose the Carolina Panthers 30-0, which is pretty bad. But Michael Penix, I can't really see him having this team locked for playoffs. I think this team's good enough to be like 10-7 and then possibly making, or 9-8 and possibly making the playoffs. But anywhere they're closer to no chance than locked for playoffs. I'll tell you that. They're closer to no chance than locked for playoffs. That's a fair assessment. Okay. Chargers, potential playoffs. This is only because of injuries. They have good receivers. They have Keenan Allen. They have Lad McConkey. They have Quentin Johnson, who's playing really well this year, but they have no O-line, right? And they have no Omari and Hampton. Hampton is hurt. I think they're trying to get Alvin Kamara, and Najee Harris is hurt. Their team is looking brutal right now. Their defense is bend but don't break, but they're more breaking at this last two games against the Giants and the Commanders. So they've been not looking good against the NFC East so far. But the Chargers look really good when they're healthy, and Khalil Mack will come back, and Joe Alt will come back, and Amari Hampton will come back, and they'll have a better team moving forward. But I don't know with the injuries if they can sustain it. They play the Miami Dolphins this week. Hopefully they can get a win there and go back to winning, right? San Fran. San Fran is locked for playoffs, right? If Mac Jones is starting, they're locked for playoffs. They're possibly Super Bowl bound. That team is looking good. They have no receivers right now, no Brandon Ayuk, no Ricky Pearsall, no Jawan Jennings, but their team looks good, right? They have good players around Mac Jones. And if Mac Jones is starting, is the only reason why they are locked for playoffs, because Brock Purdy is not better than Mac Jones. I'll stand by that forever. I said Sam Darnold was better than Brock Purdy, and Sam Darnold is clearly better than Brock Purdy. So locked for playoffs. Bryce Young's their quarterback for the Carolina Panthers. They have no chance. Let's be honest. Let's be fair. Carolina has no chance. Bryce Young is garbage. I know he won the game versus Miami, and I know he won the game versus Atlanta. But do you remember when he got blown out by the Patriots? Do you remember that? Do you remember when he lost to the Jaguar? Do you remember when he gives his team no chance to win? I told you guys, he's feminine. There's no way he's winning. Seahawks. Seahawks are Super Bowl bound. I know they gave up a shootout to Tampa Bay, right? I know they gave up a shootout to Tampa Bay, but the Seahawks are a really good team. They can run the ball, they can throw the ball, they can play, they can play action. They play defense, even though their secondary was hurt last week with no Love and no Witherspoon, but they can play defense. I promise you, the team is going to look good. They're They have a they haven't been winning at home recently, but they have a raucous home crowd. The 12th man, the famous 12th man, right? Seahawks look good. I'm gonna put them as Super Bowl bound. They're more than locked for playoffs. I give them a better chance than the 49ers, even though the 49ers beat them in week one. But I think it was awful play calling by the Seahawks offensive coordinator, who was a Kubiak's son. Yeah, bad play calling there. Bills are locked for playoffs. Bills are overrated, but they play in a really bad division, right? They play the Miami Dolphins, they play the Patriots and Jets. And yeah, so those are 4 free wins right there between the Jets and the Dolphins. And Buffalo Bills, they have a weak schedule, and they've only beaten bad teams this year, and they've one half decent team. The Patriots play against them, they lose and get dominated. So you have to put out locked for playoffs because they're going to win the division, and they're not Super Bowl bound. I know Josh Allen's a really good player. I know he's one of the best players. He's probably the best quarterback in the NFL right now, but he can't do everything. He can't be thrown to Khalil Shakir and Curtis Samuel and Keon Coleman. That's his 3 receivers. That's really bad. So he can't really do anything. They can't get open. That's the reason why he's scrambling. He holds the ball forever. His O-line is trying to protect him at all costs, but he's holding the ball forever because these guys can't get open. He can't do a simple 3-step drop. That's just what it is. Green Bay Packers, Super Bowl bound. I'll probably say they are the favorite to win the Super Bowl this year. They're the best team I've seen so far, honestly. But even though the record doesn't show it, I think they're the best team I've seen so far. Them and the Eagles, Green Bay Packers. I know they were never gonna win against Dallas Cowboys on Sunday Night Football. They're never gonna win that game. I promise you. The crime stopped there. You could have robbed the bank. The police were not gonna catch you in Dallas because everybody was watching that game. I know you idiot Cowboy fans are saying people would rather watch Micah win and Jerry lose. No one wants that. No one wants that. It's like a country, right? If you're a country and you live in a country, and let's say, or even better, right? Even better. We have Robert E. Lee, right? In the Civil War. And he's part of the North, right? He's part of the North, but the South pays him more money. He's like, all right, I'm gonna go, even though I'm from the North and I don't own any slaves, and I'm gonna go fight for the South because they're gonna pay me a lot more money. And yeah, the North basically just abandoned him, and now he's hated and got his statue removed, right? So that's Robert E. Lee, and that is Micah Parsons, right? Did I compare Micah Parsons to Robert E. Lee? Yes. Okay. Saints next. Saints, no chance. They have Spencer Rattler, a quarterback. Come on, let's be honest. They're not good. What else is there to say? They're just not a good team, right? Raiders, no chance. Pete Carroll's their head coach. They have no chance. Pete Carroll is a really bad decision maker. Um, yeah, really bad decision maker. Geno Smith's a really bad decision maker this year. I thought Dome Geno would help. They got like a 6-1 touchdown ratios in domes or in stadiums that are not open roof, and he has not been doing that. I think he has 9 interceptions to start this year already, and he's not been playing well. But yeah, they have no chance, right? Cowboys, potential playoffs. Cowboys are really a really good team, right? They have Dak Prescott. Offensively, they're a really good team. Defensively, they're a terrible team. But offensively, they have Dak Prescott. CeeDee Lamb's going to come back from injury. You have George Pickens, Javonte Williams. Miles Sanders is playing better. Like, they have a good team. Their O-line looks decent. They have a good team. They can throw the ball. They can run the ball. Dak Prescott, what he has available right now with no CeeDee Lamb, he is playing well, right? He's throwing to XFL star Kevontae Turpin, throwing to Tolbert from South Alabama. This is what Dak Prescott's doing, and Dak Prescott is showing out right now. He's playing probably the second or third best in quarterbacks in the first 5 weeks. Let's just be fair. I know there's a lot of Dak haters, but let's be fair, right? Next, the Bears. The Bears have no chance, right? They just play in too tough a division, right? They play the Vikings, even though the Vikings are kind of overrated. They play against the Lions, they play against the Packers, right? So that's already like 5 losses right there, okay? There's already 5 losses right there. And then when you're almost losing to the Raiders, that's not a good sign, okay? So they have no chance to win. I promise you. I don't think they're going to make the playoffs either, right? The Colts could be Super Bowl bound, right? Their O-line is just legit. Their O-line is a legit. Daniel Jones is that good. He's a really good player. I mean, their team's a contender this year. I mean, their defense is not as good as they used to be, right? But they're a contender. They're a contender. They hold the time of possession that they hold the ball is crazy, right? They rarely punt. Okay, I think they punt like 5 times this whole year. So that's insane. It's already going to week 6. So that's literally mentally insane. So Daniel Jones, Jonathan Taylor there, Michael Pittman, Alec Pierce. These guys help the team win, right? Everybody thought Michael Pittman was washed and terrible, but no, it's because Anthony Richardson was throwing the ball. But now you have Daniel Jones, he looks better, right? Pierce looks better. So all these guys are looking better. Joshua Downs are looking better, right? You're never going to win with Miami Dolphins because they have Mike McDaniel head coach, right? You have Mike McDaniel head coach and you have Tua at quarterback. Never going to win with a team like that. Too gimmicky, too cute. You can't win with cute. You need meat and potatoes. That's why Alabama wins every year from when Nick Saban was playing. Meat and potatoes, run the ball. That's what you do, not gimmicky. Oh, let's run a swing route to a fake to an inside zone play and let's do that, right? It looks terrible. Okay. So they have no chance to winning. What's his name got hurt as well. What's his name? Tyreek Hill, right? The woman beater. Okay. Next, New England Patriots, potential playoffs. They look good. They look a lot better than they did versus the Raiders when they lost and got absolutely cream pied in that game. They look a lot better, right? And the Patriots are just, they're getting better. Stephon Diggs is looking healthier. Booty looks decent. Their defense looks okay. Mike Vrabel is definitely a bigger upgrade than who they had last year. Who is it? Gerard Mayo, who was their coach? Yeah, so it looks a lot better than that, right? Mike Vrabel is actually having this team win and good game managing, right? Next, you have Detroit Lions. Detroit Lions are a Super Bowl bound team. They're not as good as last year. They're not as good as last year offensively. Defensively, they got Hutchinson back. Brian Branch is playing and is healthy. He's been in and out of the lineup last year. They have a lot of talent on offense, right? But their O-line is an issue. They have no Taylor Decker right now. Their O-line is an issue right now. Jared Goff is getting pressured. Their play calling is not as good as when Ben Johnson was there. Now Ben Johnson's in the head coach for the Chicago Bears. So you have to put Jared Goff and the Lions as Super Bowl bound because they are one of the best teams in the NFL this year. Are they a little overrated? Yes, because they're not the same team as last year, but you have to put them there, right? The Bengals have no chance, right? Because no, I mean it depends. When is this guy coming back? Joe Burrow return date. Let's see what this guy's coming back. I think they said late December. Yeah, so they have no chance, right? Let's just be fair. They have no chance. They just traded for Joe Flacco today. No chance still. Their team's not good enough. They have no O-line. This guy gets pressured at the wazoo, and they have no chance. That's just fair. Next, Tennessee Titans, absolutely no chance, even though they won their first game and got gifted a game by DeMercado and the Arizona Cardinals. They have no chance. Cam Ward looks okay. I don't really know if he looks like a number one pick, but he looks okay. He has some moments that makes him look really good. But so does all the quarterbacks, right? Bryce Young looks good for half a day. So, yeah, no chance for the Titans. Eagles, they have a really good chance, right? Their defense is not as good as last year's. Not even close as good as last year's. But they are a good team, right? They are a good team. They don't know their identity, I think, on offense. They don't know if they are a pass first or a run first team. And they can't just be a hybrid for some reason. So I have to put the Eagles here, and that's just a fair place to put them. Okay, I had to put them there. 4-1. They played a tough schedule. I know they lost to the Broncos, but they should have won that game. They missed a couple deep throws to AJ Brown, to Saquon Barkley. So you got to put them there. Jaguars is locked for playoff. Locked for playoffs. They have to win like 6 more games. They're gonna do that. They play in a bad division. They play against the Texans. They even though the Colts are in the division, they play in a bad division. The Titans, Texans, and I don't think they played the Titans yet. So that's 2 free wins right there. And they're locked for playoffs. Even though they're an overrated team, they looked way worse than the Chiefs. Let's just be fair. They looked way worse than the Chiefs, and they still won the game. So, and the Chiefs basically lost themselves. Yeah. Denver Broncos locked for playoff. Denver Broncos are a really good team. They're a really good team. I don't know if they're Super Bowl bound because I can't trust Bo Nix to throw the ball more than 25 yards down the field because he can't complete a pass, right? He missed like 7 throws against the Chargers, missed a couple throws versus the Tennessee Titans. He's on and off. He's inconsistent. That's his whole career at college too, with Auburn and with Oregon. He's been inconsistent. And their team is good enough to be in the playoffs and be locked for the playoffs, right? The Giants have no chance. Why do the Giants have no chance? Even though Jackson Dart is playing well, no chance of making the playoffs. They're not a good team. They have a good pass rush with Abdul Carter, Kayvon Thibodeau, Lawrence from Clemson. They have a good team, but they are just too young. No Malik Neighbors towards ACL. Yeah, right. Potential playoffs, Vikings. Vikings are a potential playoff team just because Brian Flores is a defensive coordinator. They can run the ball a little bit. They can throw the ball a little bit. Carson Wentz is not a good player, but he can suffice until JJ McCarthy's there. I'd rather have JJ McCarthy starting over Carson Wentz. People are going to say that's crazy, but what is Carson Wentz going to do for you? At least you can grow. You know you're not going to win a Super Bowl this year. At least you can grow and see what you have in JJ McCarthy. Either you move on or keep him. That's basically what you do, right? The Cardinals, potential playoff team. Cardinals are a good team, even though they lost and just gave a free win to the Tennessee Titans. They're a good team. They have good coaching, idiot running backs who can't hold on to the ball, but the potential playoff team. I like the Cardinals. I think Kyler Murray gets a bad rap. I think he's a decent player, right? Baltimore Ravens, potential playoffs. Again, when Lamar Jackson comes back soon, they're going to be in the playoff hunt. They're going to be in the playoff hunt for sure. They're a good team. They're a good team, but not defensively. They're a good team offensively, so you got to put them there. KC next, locked for playoffs. I know they're 2-3 to start, but Pat Mahomes has never missed the play. Pat Mahomes has never not seen the AFC Championship game. So you're telling me he's not going to make the playoffs? Of course they're making the playoffs. They just gave away a win against the Jacksonville Jaguars. They were the better team, and I think that they found their identity. Vertical offense, have everyone move forward, dink and dunk with Travis Kelce and Juju Smith-Schuster and Noah Gray and Robert Tonyan, right? That's what they're doing. And Pacheco on checkdowns or Hunt, right? Locked for playoffs is Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Their defense is not that good at all, but the Baker Mayfield is balling out of control. He's a top 7 quarterback at least right now. He's probably number 1 the first 5 weeks, but overall maybe top 7. I don't know how the Cleveland Browns gave up on him. I don't know how the Carolina Panthers gave up on him. They had Sam Darnold and Baker Mayfield, and they gave up on him. So they have no idea what they're doing. The Carolina Panthers are like, let's get Bryce Young. Great pick. So Tampa Bay has Baker Mayfield. Mike Evans is injured, but he's going to come back. Egbuka looks amazing. Shepard looks old but decent. Their team looks good. Chris Godwin hurt but decent. So their team, they have McMillan not even playing. So they have a really, really good receiving core. But and Bucky Irving and Rachaad White, they have a good offense, but their defense lacks. Their offensive line is not as good as it was last year, but they are a good team. So they're locked for playoffs, right? The Jets have no chance. Justin Fields is a moron. The most inconsistent quarterback I've ever seen in my life. I know I said it twice because that's how inconsistent he is. He's just really bad. And he's just dumb as rocks. And you can't have a quarterback that's dumb as rocks as your to win a Super Bowl, right? Steelers, potential playoffs. Again, I think one team out of the AFC North is going to make it. It's either to be the Ravens or the Steelers. I think it's going to be the Ravens, but the Steelers have no O-line. They have no defense, right? Their defense is terrible. They're old. Their offense is old. Like the rapport is not good right now, even though they're 3-1. Yeah, Commanders potential playoffs as well. They're 3-2. Jaden Daniels looked good against the Chargers. Played well. They belong here. Potential playoff team. Dan Quinn, defensive head coach, dominated against the Chargers, and yeah, I think that's where he belongs. Next, the Texans, obviously no chance, right? CJ Stroud's a bum. That's just the truth. He's just not as good as everybody thought he was. There's a reason why he had the lowest test scores out of any player in NFL history. And yeah, again, a dumb as rocks quarterback, you can't have him, right? So here is my teams that I have for Super Bowl bound, locked for playoffs, potential playoffs, no chance, right? There's a lot more. I guess you got to put more AFC teams here because there's only one. Okay, so I'm going to put the Bills up here, right? I think the NFC is far superior this year. I think the NFC is going to win the championship this year, but it's going to be one of those, 1, 2, 3, 4 teams, 5 teams. Yeah, exactly. All right, like and subscribe. Hope you guys like the video. Thank you.